sometimes online. Like, I just don't feel like it's a safe place.
Yeah.
So that moment, I was like, I just heard God saying, it's safe here. So that clearance preceded the vulnerability. So I'm like, okay.
Jesus.
Thank you for loving me even when it was inconvenient.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for loving me, like, even in the difficult times. And I feel like it's moments like that where you just are so grateful for friendship. You're trying to re-exist in an environment. You're trying to re-exist. You're trying your hardest to thrive in a place that I've delivered you from, that I'm delivering you from. It's not going to work. I just finished having like a very vulnerable moment with the Lord. And something I felt so strongly was grief. I feel like many times we try to go from level to level, opportunity to opportunity, relationship to relationship, old to new, without grieving. And not only without grieving, but grieving well. The Lord is our Father. Like, regardless if your earthly father was present or not, the Lord is your true Father. And I believe that it pains him to see us in pain. It pains him to see us heartbroken. Whatever pains us pains him. Whatever matters to us matters to him. I believe he tastes great pleasure, great delight in our grief. And he is very present in our grief. So you may ask, what does grieving well look like? I've already cried about it, Lex. I've already went to therapy about it. There's no perfect way to grieve well. There's no step-by-step process on how to grieve well. I myself am still learning what that even looks like, but I can confidently say that a very important step, a very important practice of grieving well is to lament, is to seriously weep in the presence of the Lord, like literally allowing the emotions to, like, when I say just flow through you. Hate, resentment, pride, anger, whatever it is, sadness, disappointment, whatever it is, like just literally allowing it to. As I'm editing this, I just clearly heard the Lord say, some of my children are afraid to be broken before me. They're afraid of what will be released. They're afraid of what will come out of their mouth. They're afraid of what will simply just be revealed in that moment. I hear the Lord saying, you've tried being vulnerable. You tried breaking down to man, but they failed you. You've tried to really release and be free, and people disappointed you. People mishandled your vulnerability. They mishandled your emotions. They mishandled your heart. But I hear God saying even now that release the expectation of man off of him. He's not man. He's not going to do you like your father did, like your mother did, like your coworker did, like your church member did, like your friend did, like your boo, your babe, whatever, your sneaky link, whatever, you know. He's not going to do you like they did you. I hear God saying even now, give me a chance. Take me at my word. Know that your pieces are safe here. I believe You don't have to come to me performing. Grieve, weep.
Oh, snap, snap, snap.
Hey y'all, so I'm at Ashley's house. Ciao. We were supposed to go see Hovey. Sorry, I'm digging in my nose. But we were supposed to go see Hovey in Plano in one community. Child, it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. So we came back and we just chatted up. I love my girl. Child, my cycle on. So let's get it in. Sleep time. But it's 11:57. It's about to be a new year. And if you're wondering what my background says, it says, "What if it all goes right?" I don't know about you, but sometimes I can be like a worrier and just really to become too attached to the outcome of things. And God is releasing me from worrying about how things should be and just accepting things as they are and trusting His plan and His timing. So yeah. But yeah, I just got the shower. I love her home. It's just so beautiful, just so peaceful here. Yeah, so I'm very tired if you can't tell. And it'll be a new year in 2 minutes. Let's see. I kind of want to clean up in here then. Well, I kind of want to stay on till 12 o'clock. So we can bring in the new year together, guys. Okay. It's 11:59. Y'all want to know what song that I just been blasting? I'm actually gonna FaceTime my mommy. Blogging. Calls mom. Why is time going so fast? Now my mom's asleep. Okay, well, I'm gonna like clean up in the restroom and then we're gonna go out and we're gonna say Happy New Year's to Ashley. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I was vlogging and they're talking to my camera. Do you mind being on camera? Yeah, fine. Oh. Yeah. You don't mind? It's a little. Well, the lighting was. Oh, my mom's FaceTiming me. Let me fix the lighting too, because I'm like, it was lighter in here. My mom's FaceTiming me back. Mom, I was like, Mom, say hey to my vlog. I said, say Happy New Year to my vlog. Happy New Year, Mom. I'm bringing it in a bonnet because I'm about to go to sleep because I'm cramping. But yeah, man. Oh, you want to say Happy New Year to my friend Ashley? Wait, I'm gonna go to her. Hold on. Ashley, here's my mom. She wants to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mom.
Mom, you have to turn.
Happy New Year. You look beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Happy New Year. Mom, that's Ashley's parents. Oh, so I don't know if you can like see. Aww. And she has 2 dogs. Oh, look at TT Diane. Hey, y'all. Happy New Year. No, we had to get Big Dog Keisha on here. Happy New Year. Hello.
You know how important it is to respect people wilderness season, especially when you love them?
Oh.
Because God is the only one that can get them out that valley.
My God.
Literally. Like Keisha. Oh my gosh, my camera.
And it's hard. It's hard when you're on the other end of the spectrum because it's just like, it's hard. Like, we're human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard for us not to internalize, or it's hard for us not to, like, get in our head about it for multiple different reasons. But it's just like, that's just so good, though. Like, just allowing God to be God in my life, in your life, because, like you said, that's the only way we're going to learn.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, she was
And it's
like,
hard to watch.
oh, for sure. Because you like, I see you struggling. When I could be interceding, but you know what I had to learn? I had to intercede without her knowing I'm interceding.
I feel like this is like relate to like something we recently went through.
Yeah.
Like Keisha and I, like earlier this year. I think, was it earlier? And I wouldn't even say it was a wilderness season for me. I would just say I was in this. How would you describe that?
Because you're talking about like our friendship, like in relation to what she's talking about, right?
Right. So we went through earlier this year, and it wasn't a season. I don't think it was a season, but it was like a time of like, I was going through my thing, but she loved me through it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was easy for her to love me through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Was it like an iron sharpened iron moment, maybe?
I was being young and turned. Yeah. Doing me. Yeah. And Keisha was like, I'm talking about young and... Why would I even say that? I'm definitely editing that out. But... Why would I say... No, I'm not. I'm not editing it out.
If it's true, it's true. Cause
it was almost as if I was neglecting our friendship because I was doing me. Yeah. But she loved me through it. Yeah. Like, I think there were moments where... And I'm going to just say this, Keisha, you can say your piece for sure. I think there was moments where it was, her flesh would rise, but because, like, our relationship is, like, really built on a firm foundation, it never overcame how she felt about me as her friend / like, best friend sister. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I really can tell. And I always, every chance I get, I always say, thank you for loving me. Even, I don't think I would say this literally, but in the ballpark of, thank you for loving me even when it was inconvenient. Yeah. Like, thank you for loving me, like, even in the difficult times. And I feel like it's moments like that where you just are so grateful for friendship. Yes. Because I'm like, I don't always feel like I'm the easiest to love. And just to see that in that time of me just doing what I wanted to do. Yeah. And her still loving me through it, I was so grateful for it. But that's all I'm going to say in it. If you want to say something, you definitely can.
Yeah, no, because Ashley has said something that I felt like I could relate to on my end of the situation. When you were saying, like, you know, I'm used to, like, the call. Like, I'm used to you calling me. I'm used to you texting me. It it was hard to navigate when like your best friend is like absent, like not present.
And that's what she said. That's what she told me. She was like, I feel like you haven't been present in our friendship. And that was like almost like a knife in my stomach, because it hurt me that I was essentially hurting her by not upholding, you know what I'm saying, like my end, because so
I can relate to that, because I was like, for me, my best friend, like I know like we're not codependent on one another, so I know like I also have to respect. I had to get so much patience with this friendship, because this was like, I had never had a God ordained friendship until she came. And when she came, I really had to learn patience, because she takes everything, which taught me, oh, you always go to God. You for real always go to God. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
on the phone with Jay. LOL. Just like impromptu, I wanted to say this. So I'm just driving, right? I'm driving to my cousin's house, and I'm like listening to Have Crazy by Music Soul Child. And for the past like weeks, probably even month or so, the Lord has really been ministering to me that my ear is changing. There's a lot changing about me, but more specifically in regards to the conversation, my ear is changing. So there is music that I will listen to, and there's music that I used to be able to listen to that just does not sit well with me now. Like, it just does not. And it don't even have to be talking about bumping, grinding. Like, it don't even have to be that. Obviously, if it's that, it's like very obviously like turn it off. Like, you know, this is detrimental to you. Don't listen to that, right? But I was listening to Have Crazy, and he was talking about, I just can't get you off of my mind. Like, for someone who has struggled, who has had an immense struggle with idolatry and just like putting people, not even putting people in higher positions, but just like having like that struggle of just like with idolatry, that wrestle with idolatry, I can't listen to stuff like that. Like, the Lord knows my struggle, and I thank God that he's so kind and so loving to where he's like, even the stuff that sounds good actually isn't even for your good. The stuff that may be musically inclined other people, that isn't the same for you. Like, your story isn't the same. And it's just like the Lord is really delivering me from something that has just really been a true war for me. And it's just like, I can't listen to stuff that feeds that bondage. Oh, help me, Holy Ghost. I can't listen to stuff that feeds that will fuel that very thing that the Lord is freeing me from. I just can't. I've tried to, something else the Lord ministering me to before I even turned on the camera was like, you're trying to re-exist in an environment. You're trying to re-exist. You're trying your hardest to thrive in a place that I've delivered you from, that I'm delivering you from. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I don't know whose word that is, because I believe even me saying that now, there's at least one person that's going to feel that down to their toes. You're going to feel that the Lord is saying, like, to me, and I know at least one person, help me, Holy Ghost, that there's somewhere you're trying to exist. But the Lord is saying, I'm delivering you from that, the friction you've been experiencing, the quarreling, and just like chaos and the fog, the all that is me showing you that you are beyond that. You are beyond that. What did that man say? It's above me now. Like, you are beyond that. You are beyond where you're trying to exist. Like, not to say that you're better than where you are, but essentially you are. You are. And in regards to destiny, like, destiny is calling, and I believe that a part of destiny is deliverance. So the Lord is delivering you from a place, and man, that's so good. Thank you, God. But yeah, that just really blessed me, and I just want to come on camera and say, like, man, like, it's been music I've been trying to, and sometimes it'll be to the point where I'm trying to make myself listen to it because I don't want to hear gospel at the moment. I don't want to hear, hold your head back, thank him. Like, I don't always want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Like, I'm just not always in the mood for that. But it's like, so I'll try and go to listen to, like, other music that's talking about, like, hey, you know, like, just a little, it ain't even got to be all that extra, but just a little 1-2. But it's like, even in those little 1-2s, it's like my ear will be like, this ain't it. Like, my ear will be like, nah. I'll just get irritated. That agitation that you feel, don't ignore that. Catch it. Don't ignore that. Don't ignore that agitation. Don't ignore that stirring of the belly. Don't ignore those things, because that is the Lord communicating with you. You not just cramping. Your head not just hurting. Your ear not just ringing for no reason. Like, the Lord is communicating with you. Y'all, this year has been very, very different for me. So I was driving into my cousin's neighborhood, and I'm like, I really believe this is going to be more of like a compilation of just the days leading up until the new year. Yeah, because this is like the final week of 2023. So make it count. I'm going to finish strong, and I'm excited for what God has in store. So yeah, I'm excited. Oh, and one more thing before I go. So I was talking to my cousin not too long ago, and we were talking about, like, just like my first year post grad and like the job search and things of that nature. And I was like so committed to like looking for a job, and then I stopped because I became discouraged. I became discouraged because I'm like, man, all I'm getting is those, like, I don't want to do this no more, you know. So I had stopped. And then amidst our conversation, it was revealed to me that I had been too choosy. Like, I was like, man, if it's not like my dream job before, it's not something that I truly love, I don't want to do it. But sometimes, like, you just got to make it shape for that season, or, you know, for that time, for the time being, you know, get your foot in the door. Like, you can't be like too selective. So, and I'm not saying don't have preferences, don't have standards, but don't let your list, don't let your preferences or desires hinder you from just starting. Because me being too choosy has, like, caused, in my opinion, some sort of delay. So my voice, at first a little raspy, it was cute. I'm liking this little rasp. Like, I like the little rasp. I think it's a little cute with a little six. No, I'm playing. But it's a little cute. But at the same time, like, Leroy. Leroy! Come on down here. Come on down here, Lily. No, I'm playing. Y'all, I made it. A little late.
Hey,
Oh my God.
is the lighting good? I don't know.
Yeah, it
Hey,
is. I just
y'all.
have like low exposure because I'm into, like, you know, how
The dark
the little
thing?
low.
I
love
love it.
But let me.
Oh,
This is nice.
I
It just ties into.
Period.
We got the same camera.
We do.
We do.
Alexis is here, y'all.
You look so cute.
I gotta show you the whole outfit. Look, it's a little, let me little one too.
You be saying that, but you really be stepping.
She do.
It's a little one.
No, she really be stepping.
I don't know, y'all.
She really be stepping.
I be trying to get outside the box, so I'm gonna be like, you be wearing cream all the time.
You do.
Oh.
She do.
Somebody recognize somebody.
Yeah.
And then I said,
She noticed my hand.
yeah, that's what she said. She recognized your hand.
I was like, okay. Look, this
But
leg.
even that part is
That
so.
was like,
Lex coming into, I didn't
God
know
is
where your
just so
hand
good.
was. Sis. You were just, I think you were just kind of, like, you know,
She
trying to
was
like
just-
motion
Yeah.
on me. I was trying to clear away.
Yeah.
And it was this hand, and I was like, that gun that look like Lex ring finger. Then I said,
And you said, and then I said, that's a legend.
Yeah. And it was like literally we like
Oh.
locked eyes and was like,
Yes.
oh my God.
It was so beautiful.
Man.
It was so beautiful.
I would never forget that moment.
I
You gotta
know.
give God glory because a year before that, a year and a half before that. Now, mind you, I was following Alexis probably for about maybe like a year and like 7 months prior to after like so following for like maybe like 7 months or so, and I'm just trying to gauge it here. But then God told me, you're gonna meet her someday. I was like, I don't know, God.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know, because I was
She
like,
shared that with me.
I told my mama the moment God told me,
Yeah,
I
she
told
was
my
telling
mama.
me about this young lady.
Yeah,
She
so
said,
Mrs.
God
Lex is
said,
going
we're gonna
in.
meet. Yeah.
Mom, she be going in for Christ. And I was like, and Mama, she be telling me these prophetic words. I don't know if she know that they be prophetic words. They be speaking to me.
Somebody just told me that. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that about my content. And somebody just told, because I met a supporter at the Galleria. She's like, I know you. I said, where you know me from?
Watch it.
She's like, you're Alexis Udorah. I'm like, hey, girl. Because I don't think of my, I feel like we family.
way.
You know,
Yeah.
like I don't, you know me. I
Ashley
just
had a couple of
super
moments
humble
like that.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very humble about it. I was
Yes,
almost,
that's
I ain't
right.
hold you my first time was like, all right, my son good.
Because it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming for sure. Because I'm like, please don't put me on a pedestal.
Yes.
Because I'm man, like I can feel you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't, you
And it's
know.
like, I know you got excited because maybe you did get that prophetic word, and maybe it seems like I knew something that maybe you just
Right.
was like, wow, you knew this, and but baby,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Only you knew.
only
That journey.
Yeah. Body's business.
Because you that moment, that was the lowest of the lows for me.
Yeah.
So when you sold, it was like, so you really do got my back, God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yes.
Because my dad wasn't there. My earthly father wasn't. So I've been struggling with receiving love from God. But at Woman Evolve, he really showed me. Because I spent my last to get to Woman Evolve. Because I was working the event.
Yeah.
So just to see how he used you and how he showed up, I was like, we like that.
Yeah.
Like I
Not only
I
that,
just knew.
Ashley had already said the night before that she was going to sew, but she didn't know. At first, she thought it was the lady that we sat next to on that Thursday night.
Yes.
You thought it was her.
At first, I did. It was this
it was
beautiful
a Caucasian
lady.
beautiful from
I thought it
Atlanta.
was her at first, but the Holy Spirit didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But before we even went to, now I didn't know, because Lex at first wasn't. I don't think Lex, you weren't supposed to. You was like indecisive if you was going or not. I think at first, like you had.
I couldn't afford to go, if I'm being honest. So, but I told the Lord, I felt like I had to be there. I'm like, okay, God, like I don't have the funds, so am I gonna work it? Like, what do you want me to do? And I end up getting chosen to work the event, and now I'll be working the ILS, the TDJ.
The
I'll be working that as well.
Wow.
They wanted me to come back. They requested me. I was like,
Period.
so I was
God.
grateful.
So
I signed
that's
up
going
for
to be
the-
here. That's gonna
It
be
is in
March.
Dallas
Yeah,
in March.
yeah.
I signed up recently for the Woman Evolve next year, so I'm hoping to serve there next year.
Amen.
But yeah, it was so much, y'all, that transpired.
Ooh, it was
And
so much.
before that night, before Woman Evolve even started, like I was in my prayer and I just got paid. You know, you give your offerings and stuff like that, but God told me to hold the offering this time. He told me not to sow it into where I normally sow, which is my church. And so I was like, what we sowing it? And so then he was like, you're going to save, you're going to give it to someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but he told me they was going to be at Women Evolve. He said you're going to sow it to somebody's life at Women Evolve. I had no idea.
Had none.
Not a single clue. Not a single clue. And honestly, if your transparency wasn't your transparency, it wouldn't have been confirmed by God.
I was shaking actually
really
telling my
like
story.
that?
Girl. Because he know I'm very private.
Yeah.
I'm very private. And just being like in the spotlight, having a platform, I feel like sometimes where I can't hurt online. or just be like broken or broke.
Yeah.
I hate that word. I hate the word broke. I say in between blessings. But you know, like
I love that.
but just being like low sometimes online, like I just don't feel like it's a safe place.
Yeah.
So that moment I was like, I just heard God saying it's safe here. So that clearance preceded the vulnerability. So I'm like, okay.
Jesus.
Because he know that I'm very like, I'm not sharing with nobody. You know, my daddy hurt me. He's still healing me from that trauma. But it's just like, he know that I'm very like hesitant to share because I want to feel safe with my vulnerability. I want to make sure whoever I'm sharing with is safe. My pieces are safe here. And like that clearance, I was like, okay, cool. Then that's when I proceeded to share, because I think even when I was telling you, I was like, I really don't do this. I was like, I just knew it was God, because I'm like, it's almost like he's like, Alexis, you're breaking something by being vulnerable. So just do it. And I'm just like, you sure? You know, I'm like, you sure?
Right.
You know, that step that we're scared to take, those things that we're scared to see, is the very thing that can just shift the trajectory of our lives. So I'm just like, okay, in that moment, it did. It did for me. Like, it really did. And I was like, so this is why you had me scrap up change to get gas to be here.
My God.
Like, this is why. It's not because I'm good. Because there's nothing in my track record that says I deserved your seed. Nothing. And I can be honest and say there's nothing that I've done to justify that I deserve that. But it was because of his goodness. Because of who he is. His promise that he was like, you're mine. Here it is. So I just was like, okay, God. And that's when I really knew this is really my sister. Like, we're not just friends, but this is really my sister. And I was like, God, I must have cried that day. Oh my God, I really must have cried, because it's one thing to hear about the goodness. But to experience it,
it's a whole nother thing.
it's like when I think it's Psalms 34, it said taste and see.
Ooh, taste and see.
It was sweet. Actually, it was good. Oh, it was so good. I'm like, this is what you mean when you say taste and see. I'm seeing God. Like, thank you. You know, so.
And that's so funny.
He's so good.
Since you was after that, well, I got emotional in the moment you started sharing, because I could hear God say, this is a seed. And I was like, I'm like, Lord, you could have just told me that at the house. But if he would have told me that it was you, then I don't know. Maybe I would have got too excited or jealous.
Who knows?
You know, I don't know. Because God knows my personality. I am literally a servant. Like, I have a servant's heart. So I'll be like, oh, yeah, God, yes, you know, here. I will give too much to the point where I'm like, girl,
ham sandwiches for the week.
That's it.
Ham sandwiches.
Ramen noodles, here we go.
Baby,
I'm like, the Lord knows. Like, to the point where I'll be like, when is that check?
I know.
Because I'm like, good grief. But I was like, no, God, I'm just going to be obedient to what you told me to do. So I was so grateful. And then after that, to see the very thing that I was fearful of with women. Because I would tell my mom, I'd be like, Mom, I don't know why God called me to women. I would. I would legit say that. Because this person right here, that's been my best friend for a minute.
D2. I call her daughter number 2.
Aww.
And I call her D2.
That's been my best friend for a minute.
She's the truth.
She has
I love that.
She don't
sugarcoat Jack.
What you see with Amber is what you get.
Yes.
But Amber has a sweet, loving heart.
Yes.
And she cares.
Yes.
Yeah. And she cares. I love her.
Yes.
Yeah. And Miss Tiffany.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm like, do you have me on camera?
No, I don't know. And this is Miss Podcast. So I was on her podcast.
Thank you.
Miss Tiffany.
Our episode, y'all, is lit.
Check
it out.
Is it out already?
It is. Yeah, girl, it's good.
Oh, wait, I gotta go check this out.
Thanks.
What's up, y'all? So I'm at my storage right now, just getting a few things before I start my day. I just wanted to switch jackets, and I'm getting a hat because I don't feel like doing like my upper. So I'm gonna just like get a hat and put a hat on. To be honest, today is like, I don't know. You know, sometimes I'll be feeling like I gotta have it together because I'm 27. But I don't. I don't have it together. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. When I feel like I'm making the right decision, sometimes I'm making the wrong decision. But the wrong decision, it be sometimes so similar to the right one. And I just be like, but I don't know. I was on a live yesterday. Norris, if y'all familiar with Norris Johnson, he does like fast call here from heaven, and like last night was night 2, and he was just talking about divine guidance, and I was just like, how intentional is this? Because I was really in dear need of guidance because I just didn't know what to do. And literally he would just say, like, if you make the wrong decision, like, I don't know. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed with being an adult, being a human, and making decisions, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah. So anyways, I'm about to grab a Bass Pro hat and one of my totes. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. This is the bag I decided to carry. And just gonna put my hats in here. Stanley, my phone, penny liners, if you know, you know. And yeah, I'm such a neutral girly. So I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna shut this down and head to my destination. I don't know if I'm gonna vlog for where I'm going, but just stay tuned, y'all. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Hey y'all, so I've made it to my old church. I hadn't really like spoke about like what I was doing, but I am right now filling my Stanley up. I wish I could have rinsed it out first. Actually, that's probably what I'll do. But I'm gonna be emceeing this year's New Year's Eve extravaganza, and I'm excited because I've never emceed anything before, so I think it's so cool to be able to be here and like do that. So I'm blessed and honored for the opportunity, and I think it's gonna be great. I'm gonna like make sure it's okay that I can like film. I don't know if I can like film here or not, but I'm gonna like ask her if I can like film like little snippets just for content. And yeah.
Natasha's over there. Natasha's on the beginning. They can't do all that extra stuff. Don't come in until Alexis. That's Alexis. That's Alexis. You don't come in.
And ladies on the flag, that extra part at the end should be facing you. I told y'all that every single practice, and y'all hold the flags wrong every single practice. That extra, yeah, right. You have to look right. And it's
religious figure.
So when you say close, I want you to close out the door. Out that middle part. The middle aisle.
And when do you want me to start speaking, Caitlin?
When he wraps up.
As he's walking out?
As he's walking out. He said that if you don't use your keys to access heaven, heaven's going to stay closed.
Okay.
That's your
cue to start
walking
talking.
out to talk.
Okay.
And then they're going to position themselves while you're talking.
Gotcha. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" Well, they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah, or one of the other prophets." Then he asked him, "But who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "You are blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. Now I say to you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and all the powers of hell will not conquer it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you forbid on earth will be forbidden in heaven, and whatever you permit on earth will be permitted in heaven."
Praise that renders him ineffable. There is this third level of praise, and it's called the shout. It is the pinnacle of praise because the Hebrew word for shout means to take an enemy and tear apart piece by piece by piece.
So, something that really makes me something that I find to be like so liberating is when I'm like really going through it, and then I have an opportunity to share a vulnerable moment with like people that need it. It was my intention to like have a good balance in this video, but I have to be honest with myself and remember that like this journey, there's gonna be days where it's like probably like you're crying like 4 days in a row. You cry like 4 days in a row, and then there's one day where you're just like happy. I want to keep my new films, my new videos, my new content authentic. This morning I was driving to my hair appointment. I was asking the Lord, like, why is it so hard for me to let go? Why is it so hard for me to be obedient? Why is it so hard to just do the hard thing? And I kid you not, the Lord responded within seconds. And he said pride. And he responded through an 18-wheeler flap. You know, like on an 18-wheeler when they have like obviously like the big wheels and there's like flaps behind it. So it was only on my side, on the left side. I didn't see it on the other side really. But on the flap it said pride, like biggest day, right? And I was quiet the rest of the way to my hair appointment. I literally had nothing to say because pride was the last thing that I thought was keeping me from, you know, the next step in my life, or like the next level, or just, yeah. But the Lord said pride. And later on the day, he revealed to me, Alexis, you are where you are because I'm trying to humble you, you know. Not even trying, but you are where you are because I'm humbling you. You are where you are because I'm maturing you. And I don't know why, but it just feels so impossible. it literally feels like I literally feel like I cannot do it. Like I know that I can, but when I tell you, like, in me, it feels like earlier on in the video when I mentioned what I heard the Lord saying about scared to be broken before the Lord, I didn't even know, but he was talking to me. He was talking to me. I'm scared. I don't want to do this. Like, I literally was just telling him, like, I don't want to go through the breaking. Like, I don't want to go through the pruning. And that's where I am. And if anybody knows what that feels like, it just feels like death. And it is. Like, you're literally, like, experiencing death. And I'm like, I'm really not trying to be going through this right now. But I even hear him now, like, there's a demand on the call. There's a demand, and there are people waiting on me to make the right decision. There are people waiting on me to say yes. There are people waiting on me to say no. There are people waiting on me to make a move. And how I know, like, this is just about to be something different, like this pruning, this stretching, like this refining, and just how I know it's going to be, like, the next level is just going to be next level, is because of how I feel. Like, I literally am, like, I feel like I'm being ripped apart. Like, I don't even know. I'm just like, I just wanted to come on and just kind of just share that, how hard it is, and how I'm just really going through it, and I'm in a pruning season, and I just, like, I know it's all working together for my good. I know it's maturing me. I know it's humbling me. Like, I know all these things. I know it. But I just feel like it just doesn't take away from how bad it hurts, you know? But to anyone going through a pruning season, just know that you can do it. I'm going to link a video that is helping me right now. And the Lord, he just kept allowing it to pop up on my YouTube. I was just like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And it kept popping up. So I eventually watched it today, getting my hair done. It's something that the lady, I forgot her name. I think it was Faith. Something that she said in the video was like, basically, you don't have to strive while you're being pruned. Like, you don't have to work out of the pruning. Like, you don't have to work to get out of it. All you are instructed to do is remain. Just remain. Basically, be still and know that he's God. And I'm just like, okay. I think something else for me is just like the discipline. Like, though we live in an age of where it's like, yeah, you're getting older, but you're literally still a child of God, and you still gotta listen to somebody. Still have to obey the Lord. Like, yes, you have free will, but you still have to obey the Lord. Like, that's really, like, I feel like God is really showing me what a father is. And I think initially I was so consumed with, like, the blessing aspect of it, like the good. Not even specifically the good, but like the comfortable, the joyful, the blessings and stuff. I was so provider, you know, I was so in awe about, enamored concerning that. But the Lord is literally like, well, this is the other side of it. the pruning, the crushing, the breaking, the refining. And I'm like, it's so painful. Like, but I know he's making new wine, but I'm like, this hurts so bad. Like, I know I'm gonna look back and be so grateful, but right now I'm hurting so bad. Like, I'm grieving. Sometimes I feel like I don't know if I'm going or if I'm coming. I feel like I'm alone. I know I'm not, but I literally feel like I am. Like, I feel like I'm being like ripped to shreds. Like, this season is so hard. Like, I'm literally like, it's so funny because I think we all think that we won't be that person crying on camera. And here I am. Weeping. But I just want to like kind of come on and like just chat a little bit. Call me in a raw moment. But yeah, this walk it's not easy, but it's worth it. I love y'all.